back, my friend. I hope you're having a great, beautiful, and blessed day. Now, for today's video, the secret, hidden secret of my training. I'm not sure if I've ever said this, and I'm not sure if I've ever made a video about this, but this is the hidden secret to my training, all right? We're just going to get straight into it. Now, the hidden secret to my training. A lot of you already know shadowboxing, jumping the rope, mainly the shadowboxing, okay? I knew this secret way before I jumped on TikTok or YouTube. This was like the main driver for me to shadowbox so much. Yes, there's many different reasons to it, but for me, okay, this was the main reason why I would shadowbox, and this was the hidden secret behind it all. Now, before I did jump on TikTok and YouTube, I was a little overweight. I was depressed. I was lost with my life. I gathered up a lot of spiritual knowledge, so to say, read a lot of books, the Bible. I mean, my spiritual awakening has been my entire life, but there was a good run where I kind of dove deep into many things, and I had this knowledge, I had this knowing, and I totally forgot about my physical body. And, in order for me to really, truly understand the knowledge that I got about spirituality, I had to put it into play. So, understand this. I have you outside in nature. Whether you're at a tennis court, you're at the park, you could be in your backyard, you could even be in your room, it doesn't matter. But somehow you are outside or you're in your room, you're alone. You have no music, okay? And you're just moving and grooving for hours upon hours. If you followed any of my programs, dude, you're out there for a long time. A lot of the things that I do in my programs, you're shadowboxing for more than 5 minutes per round. You're doing at least 10-minute rounds. Now, knowing this, okay, the hidden secret behind it all is I understand that deep within inside every human being, there is this light, this spirit, this divinity. You are just a focal point of this thing that we call God. And during this time, you have no distractions. It's just you outside doing your best to express this divinity from within. I always urge you to move the way that you want to move, to flow. Try not to force anything. Yes, you can watch my moves. Yes, you can study other fighters. But ultimately, you and you alone will have your own special combinations, your own special sequences. And during this time, while you are shadowboxing, is your time that you can connect with God. This was the hidden secret the entire time. Throughout the time that I've been on TikTok and YouTube, it's gonna run up about 3 years now. A lot of you have messaged me on how my programs have changed your life. Understand, I did nothing. I did nothing, but I basically told you to just go outside and punch the air. Okay? Because I knew that a lot of us are stuck within this material realm, and a lot of us are having a slight shift in perspective, and we put everything outside of us above us. The only thing that is important in this life is the human spirit. That's like one of the most important things. Nothing else matters. Nothing. And for 2025, it's the year of clear eyes and a clear mind. And I'm going to just give these truths to you because a lot of you guys already got the program down. You guys already know my get down, jumping the rope, shadow boxing, doing a little bit of abs, sometimes shadow boxing with weights, doing some light dumbbell work, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, power body weight rows. That will probably never change. The one thing that you got to get to now is your individuality, your divinity, your spark. And you got to understand that there is nothing above the human spirit. Now, everything else, understand that everything is God. These trees, my jacket, my hair, everything is God. But somehow, God gave us the gift to see and to experience and to feel this divinity that we hold within. And a lot of us, a lot of you suffer. For those who are still suffering, it's because you put the utmost importance to things outside of you. And once I came to understand this, it's easy for me to flow with life because I know what's important. The spirit that is within you and the spirit within another individual. There's some people out there who still put importance on their traditions, on their martial art style. Understand, it was a human being that created the martial art. So why would you put the art above the human? It was the human that created the art, and it's the human that does the art. Okay? Now, to put this in perspective, understand that your mind, the spirit within you, kind of communicates to your mind first. That's the spiritual. What is the spiritual? The things you can't see, your thoughts and your emotions. So, the spiritual, think of it as the potter. Your body is the clay. And you got to understand with this shadow boxing, I'm telling you to move and groove in the way that you see fit. That is the potter molding the clay. The clay will never tell the potter what to shape and what to form. No, the potter shapes the clay, and the potter creates the pot through the work of his hands and the visions in his mind. The body is only a response. The body is only a reflection of what's going on in the heart, the mind, and the spirit. And I need you to understand beyond the mind, there is this universal spirit that animates all. And you need to understand this. Like I said, I will never put anything above a human being. Same thing with Chinese lion dancing. It's two human beings inside of a lion. Yes, there's traditions behind it, but it was human beings that created it. If you want to say the celestial realms, if you look in every culture, the celestial realms are human beings. It's human beings technically moving the stars, making everyone's destiny. But behind it all, the spirit, the great spirit. You guys can call it God. You guys can call it divinity. I don't want to turn you guys off to this, but the more and more you spend time with yourself, the more and more you become sober minded, the more and more you let go of things in this material world, you will get to see the truth. And the truth is, behind it all, behind all of your actions, behind all of your thoughts, first cause is God. Now, God will look differently to everyone. And that's how this thing we call God, divinity, can be infinite in an infinite number of ways. If this thing that we call the Great Spirit, God, divinity, only had one type of expression, it wouldn't be God. It would just be like man. Okay. There's many other mysteries to this, but this was my hidden secret. I was suffering mentally, physically. I was really I was like super bloated. My joints were hurting. I was always tired. My mind was always foggy. I wasn't as sharp. I wasn't as fast. You guys saw the picture. And I knew all of the spiritual knowledge. And I knew that if I go within, I let go of every result. And I just ask the great spirit within, God, divinity, whatever you want to call it, I ask, what is it that you want? Just shadow box, Chez, shadow box. I want to be expressed through your boxing, kickboxing movement. And I said, okay. Once I got to a certain point, boom, everything, the weight came off. I started to post it. A thought in my mind was just telling me, my heart was calling me to just share it. Then I realized, other people need this. Other people need to be alone. Other people need to move and express this spirit within them. There are individuals like me who need some type of fight training, combat training to kind of get connected. Some of you are so disconnected from yourself. And that's my big secret. Now, secondly, understand that a lot of you ask me about heartache. A lot of you ask me about what happens when somebody else passes away, a loved one. What do you do? In my life, I had a lot of loved ones who passed away. I had a friend, he unfortunately he killed himself. My grandma, she passed away when I was about 25. She raised me. I really loved her. And in both instances, I was lost. Now, with the spiritual knowledge, you got to understand that everyone is on an evolutionary phase. When someone is taken out of your life or when someone walks out of your life, That is the chance for you to get connected back to yourself. If my grandmother stayed any longer than what she was supposed to, I wouldn't have grown into this individual that you see today. Because she passed away, I was left with the only choice of finding growth within myself. My grandma, she helped me a lot. She raised me. She taught me a lot of things. And if she stayed any longer, she probably would have babied me. And I wouldn't have learned what I needed to learn. I wouldn't have become the man that I needed for myself and for my family. Now, same thing for you. If you've lost a loved one and your heart is really wrenched in it, you got to understand this great spirit wants to evolve within individuals. You need to evolve, and your loved one who went on, you can say, to another realm, so to say, they have to evolve in different ways as well. And whatever you believe in. Now, if they pass away, they're evolving in a different sense. The spirit never dies. And that's one thing I've come to understand. That's why I will never put anything above the human spirit. Because the human spirit is directly from God. Everything else is created by man. Okay? Even like the grass. This park that I'm at, guys planted these trees. They water it, they take care of it, and it grows. This grass, they cut it. Everything is maintained by man, but the first cause is always God. Okay? No matter how long the traditions are, it's always going to be passed down from man to man. But the guy, the first source, especially now because I was doing the Chinese line dancing and I got to study everything. In all these books, the I Ching, Tao Te Ching, Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, it will tell you what is the first cause, and that's the spirit within. Just so happenly, humans have the receptivity and the mind to have the intelligence to calculate. Science is just the pursuit of truth. Philosophy is just the study of truth. I mean, humans are constantly just trying to find the truth. And the truth is, God is the first cause. And what is the first cause? Love. Okay? Now, when someone passes away, understand when people are with you, that's your time to love them. When they're away from you, that's your time to get connected back to yourself. Now, this goes to heartbreaks. A lot of you guys are men, okay? And you ask me about women and you have heartache. I mean, I had lots of heartache in my life. Look at me. I'm a handsome guy. I've experienced a lot. And I came to understand that, this great spirit always wants you to recognize itself within yourself. A lot of us put relationships above ourselves. And sometimes you get so in love with someone that this great spirit has to cause a wedge and have to kind of cause you to separate because you've put everything over yourself. You put all into this relationship. While you're with the individual, the great spirit, God, this is your opportunity to love another person and to share love and to strengthen someone else and to give someone else motivation, comfort, compassion. When that person goes away, the great spirit somehow puts this divide between you. This is your time to sit down and do all those things for yourself, because you can never love an individual if you don't love yourself. And if you put a lot of things above you, it becomes distorted. You're basically acting out of desperation because you don't want to lose something. And this goes for other things as well. Like, a lot of you guys also, oh, I used to train with this group. I wish we can go back to that. Me and my friends, we were always dedicated to training. You got to understand these wedges that the Great Spirit creates, it has to go through. If you guys just stuck together as buddies and had this same training over and over and over, understand that's the biggest form of egotism. That's the biggest form of selfishness, to want things to go back to how they were. Because you got to understand, not just you has to grow. The individuals that you are with have to grow as well. And the spirit that's within your friends, these other individuals, it has to express itself in its own unique way. It got what it needed when you guys were in this group. You got to just let it go. Love lets things go, and it lets things evolve into the things that it needs to become. And some of us suffer because we hold on to things way too long. We want things done our way. We need things to be upheld. 10,000 years of traditions need to be done this right way. And a lot of people suffer. And a lot of people don't understand that their karma, their direct karma, why they wake up just frustrated. How come every relationship in their life is frustrating? How come their body is backfiring on them? It's because they snuff out the light in another individual. Why? Because they want others to be the way that they are. I don't care for styles. I don't care for philosophies. I don't care for who has the most money. I don't care for really anything. The only thing I care about is that everyone in my circle is expressing themselves honestly and that they are not hindering the light in someone else. That is the biggest karma in this world. I found my light. And for me to say that, you got to shadow box, you got to do carnivore diet, you got to do it this way or else you won't look the way that I look, is me shortchanging the light within you. And as in the Bible, it says, the body is the temple of God. And if I were to tell you, you can only do it this way, that would be me snuffing out that light within you. Oh man, I would never want to accumulate that kind of karma. But of course, there's going to be a time where you need guidance. There was a book I read. If you don't come to see the light within you, this is what gurus are for. You're going to be attracted to some guru, and eventually, you're going to attach yourself to this guru, and then eventually you're going to learn what you need to learn, and then eventually you will find some type of flaw, or this guru will slip up somewhere. He will be authentic and he will show you his flaw, and this flaw will make you so resentful of this individual that you will want to detach yourself from this guru that gave you all of your blessings, all of your strength, all of your life lessons. This one flaw will force you to be like, I can't roll with you anymore. And that is the great divine spirit letting you know that you've put enough time into this individual. I will show you a flaw. It may not even be a big one, but for you, it's going to be like, I can't roll with it. I can't roll with it. And with that, the great spirit, God, divinity, is trying to get you to see the light within you. And this is all I'm ever trying to do, guys. This is all I'm ever trying to do. Now, if you still need the guidance, I still got the workout videos. I still have the Savage Warrior Body Program. The Savage Warrior Body Program is it was my process. I sell it. It's a downloadable PDF. I ran it for longer than 42 days. Now, some guys will say, oh, I have that one video, the 60-day Savage Warrior Body Program, the video on YouTube. Some guys will say, oh, you didn't get like that in 60 days. You guys got to understand there. I did that program 10 times harder. I would only eat like 5 ounces of steak. In 60 days, dude, I got diced up. On top of that, I was training twice as much. I was training like 4 times a day. Like, my mind just had to go. And this is going to be the last point. Understand this. Whether you are a victim of trauma, childhood traumas from people that, was trying to snuff out your light, or you were the creator of just violence and terror and just negativity on both ends, okay? Whether you were the prey or the predator. Once you sit down, you start shadowboxing and you start hearing this call, Ches, you need to um, go on a carnivore diet. You need to simplify your diet. Ches, you need to run more. Ches, you need to get rid of all this ice cream, these snacks. Ches, you got to stop watching Instagram so much. Ches, you need to meditate more. Ches, you need to work out harder. All of these things that I was called to before I jumped on TikTok, all of these self-development principles, it was God's way of giving me the shortcut, the hookup to undo my karma. Okay? There's 2 ways you can do it, bro. You can suffer times 10. Understand, when karma comes back, it's going to be times 100. Because when energy goes out and it circles around. It creates momentum. This is what the yin and yang is. Energy goes out, creates momentum, and when it comes back to the sender, it comes back 100 times stronger because it went out and it created momentum and it gathered more energies of whatever you put out. But God loves you so much. He will say, I don't want you to go through this. I can heal you right now, but you're mine. You're just too smart for your own good. You can't just accept me and accept my promises. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you suffer on your own. I'm going to have you diet. I'm going to have you cut out all these pleasures. So that way the suffering will cleanse your mind. I was just talking with my cousin. I was telling her, I meet a lot of people from my high school days, my childhood, and they tell me stories, and like, I gotta tell them sorry. Like I was an angry kid, man. And because I got bullied a lot, I had to bring pain. I had to bring I had to bring pain. And if I got beat up, I came back even stronger. I came back even harder. I came back with much more vengeance. And I had to tell people, like, you know what? I don't remember a lot of these things. I mean, as they detail the situation, it starts to come back, but I don't have a physical reaction to it. I kind of just, the memory does come back, and I just tell them, I'm so sorry, and they genuinely take it because they kind of see, like, dude, I'm a changed person. The pain that you will go through training, through this self development, will cleanse your mind, so that way you don't have this guilt on you. This pain, the self development process, all this training I make you do, all of this crazy diet that I make you do, is the fire that will cleanse your heart and your soul. And this is why I can kind of do what I want to do. People tell me shit all day long. People tell me, you're too much, Ches, you're disrespectful, don't do this, don't do that. They just can't handle my energy. I'm just a very optimistic, energetic guy. Okay. And I can get over it easily. I just say, yeah, okay. Because daily I'm just going through the fire. I'm ridding myself of all of these human attachments. And the only thing that concerns me is my connection to my spirit within, because I know when I'm connected to the spirit within me, I can help people to grow and evolve in the way that they need to. And when I give them the path, they will look in the mirror, they'll see that, oh, they got some, some results, they feel good about themselves. When they look in the mirror, they will know that it was them that did it. I cannot take credit for any of this. Any guy who created any martial art, they can't take credit for it. Oh, I created this style. You hear in these martial arts communities, oh, I created this, I created that. This is my style. This is our style. There's only one creator. You got it from someplace. Somehow you were sitting down, running maps in your head, running visualizations in your head, and boom, suddenly you got the thought. Where did that thought come from? You didn't originate it. You got to study where desires come from. You got to study where thoughts come from. And sometimes you don't need to study. Sometimes you need to just go outside and shadow box and express the spirit within you. And that is the hidden secret behind it all. You got to understand, one way to really heal your life, you want to see instant healing in your body, in your mind, and in your life, you got to do this, okay? Everything that you want for yourself, whether it's abundance, physical health, lots of money, lots of happiness, lots of peace, lots of joy, stress-free life, you got to look at the person that you hate. That you hate. I really don't hate anybody, but you got to look at, if you do hate individuals, you dislike someone, you got to look at the person that you truly dislike, and you got to wish that for them. Once you're able to wish this for someone that you hate, a blessed life, all this abundance, dude, your life will change. And that's just what it is. You gotta, whatever you want for you, you gotta want for someone else. And for me, like the strength that I have, the wisdom, my ability to speak, my ability to be confident, I want this for you. And this is why I can kind of just go on about my day, just laugh, wave, hi. I'm able to solve problems really quickly because I'm not attached to anything. Because everything that I want for you. And as we go along this journey of YouTube, martial arts, being a father, being a man, we're going to lose some. We're going to win some. We're going to go on these waves. But through it all, there's only one doer, and that's God. So shadowbox, connect with the spirit within, and just always remember, train hard and be kind. Let's go.